YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Ascension Capitals, man. Tapping back in with another video. And today, I have Ascension recaps for you guys. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? These magnificent views. So here we are, Ascension recaps, man. This was, as promised, the trade recap from Friday. So I'm going to try to quickly go through this because I don't want to, hold you guys up forever. But anyway, let me move my face to the top here. Misread a vibration of some sort. Anyway, pretty much this was the price action from Thursday. Thursday's price action was essentially ranging between this high, this low. So this was our trading range. So I was waiting for a price to come back into premium pricing, mitigate something in premium pricing, and continue that rally to the downside, because that is essentially all I'm doing on the 15-minute time frame when it comes to, analyzing and mapping out structure. So as you can see, let's just see if that price continued rolling into London Open on Friday. So boom, playing price forward here, it's doing what it's doing. Boom, price closes above that 15-minute swing high, essentially changing character, changing sentiment. So this was that first indication that the buyers are stepping into this market. So once that happens, I'm waiting for a 3-candle pullback to signify where the new swing high of the range is going to be. So I need to wait for 3 consecutive candles to close in the opposing direction to solidify that. So see, we have that, and boom, here we are. So we have our new swing high of the range. So when this happens, this is when I'll get my fib tool, go from the low to the high of the range, looking for those discounted prices, for a price to retrace to look for where I can potentially get involved from the market. So obviously the first thing that sticks out to me is the valid extreme of the range, which would be here. Let's change this to POI, which would be here, just below that 0.786, and this looks highly beautiful, if I do say so myself. Also, we have to be mindful that there is some liquidity resting here. Asia lows have still been intact and not been swept yet, but still we have to be mindful of this was the leg that caused the flip or the whole change in sentiment in the first place, and I still kind of will deem this as a flip zone, because price could come a little bit higher and you can get confirmations out of flip zone of some sort, or this is still an area of value. But nevertheless, still, this was the leg that was responsible for the break. I do see we have a point of interest here, right at the 50% of this entire range. So this is something that I want to be mindful of. So let's mark out Asia sell side, and we have 2 points of interest that I can see price retracing to look for confirmations anywhere out of these 2 zones. So honestly, I was more interested in getting involved from this zone, just because I'm still looking at this zone as kind of a flip zone. So I didn't really see price coming down too low within the range, but nevertheless it was still something that I couldn't rule out and was still a possibility. So playing price forward here, let's just see how price reacts when coming into this 15-minute point of interest here on crude. So playing price forward, boom, price comes and tags into that first point of interest I have here at the 50%. So this is when I drop down to the 2-minute time frame and map out that 1-minute structure to look for that shift in structure to where I can get involved in confirmation. So Obviously, I want to map out 1 minute structure, the last major significant swing points on the 1 minute, or in this case, the 2 minute. So first thing that sticks out here, I have 1 bearish candle, 2 bearish candle, and this 3 bearish candle. So this is my high that I need to see broken for me to look to get involved in the market. So let's map this out. This is my eye. This is what I'm eyeing at the moment. And boom. We also have our swing low that we can't ignore as well, because price may come deeper into this point of interest, and we still will do the same thing, adjust the highs and the lows based off, that sweep and that break, which is that first indication that the buyers are stepping into this market. So putting price forward here, price is doing what it's doing, consolidating, and it's doing what it's doing, rallying up to the upside, still trading in between this range, doing what it's doing. Boom, we get a sweep below this low here. So let's mark this out as our last sweep of liquidity. And now as price sweeps below this low, the deepest pullback, the deepest point of that pullback is what I want to see broken now, which would be this high here. So when price closes above this high, this will be the green light for me to get involved in this market. But obviously price could come a bit deeper into this point of interest, as I mentioned, and I will adjust accordingly for that. So price is doing what it's doing. We get a nice push to the upside, doing what it's doing. Oh, another big push, and this was around near market open. So this is when I am starting to look at the charts, when this whole formation happened. So I started looking at the charts around 9 a.m. first, when we got the first initial sweep of the low, and now I'm mapping out where can I initially get involved inside this market. So price closes, well, not yet, but price closes above this high eventually. Boom, there goes the close above the high, there goes our change of character, there goes that shift in sentiment, and there goes our green light to get into the market. So let's mark this out as our change of character. And now let's look where within this leg can we get involved. Well, the first thing that sticks out to me was this indecision candle, which was the valid extreme of this entire range. But also we have the decisional area, which was the push that caused the close above the high. So in this scenario, this is when I would look to take either one of the two, and generally one of the two will be, kind of both of my trade ideas for the day. But in this scenario, I decided to go with the decisional. So as price closes above this high, I'm also mapping out that this is a sweep of liquidity as well, because there is a low just above my order block that I want to get involved from. So let's mark this out, sell side liquidity just before that position, and I draw my parameter tool. Stops were just below this wick and targeting 3.5, 3.5 times of what I'm risking. So here's when I set my limit for 3 contracts, and yeah, patiently waiting to see if I get tagged into this position or not. And as market opened, I was tagged in right away, and price instantly shooting towards the target. But I can't roll stops to break even yet, because I don't really have structure to base my break even off of. So price is doing what it's doing, push it up. We got a retracement, comes back into entry, shies away from it right away. Then we start to get that momentum. Boom, price is probably 85% towards target. Then we get this sharp pullback. But now I'm mapping out this swing point here, because this will be where my break even point is once I get a close above this high. So boom, mapping this out. Price still has not closed above this point yet, so risk is still on the table. So playing price for a little bit more. Eventually we get a close above that high, and this is when I rolled my stops to break even. So essentially this is a risk-free position now. But as the position develops, or as the trade develops, I'm looking at potential areas where I can, take scale and entries from. And coming back to the valid extreme of the trading range, or the new trading range, this is where I decided to scale in for an extra contract. So boom, set price here, set my limit, stops just below this low, still targeting that 3.5. so essentially looking for 2 positions today at the current moment, or at the current time of this trade. So yeah, set my limit for an extra contract here, playing price forward, doing what it's doing, it's running nicely, and then boom, price comes and tags me into that second position. So now I have 2 positions running at the current moment, but mind you, my stop loss is not right at the entry at the first position. I put my stop about 3 points in profit, so let's kind of mark this out where my stop was for the first position. So it was in profit a little bit, about 3 points, but nevertheless we're tagged into that first position and price is doing what it's doing. So I have 2 positions running at the moment, consolidating around the entry, and then we started to get that delivery. But initially, come back, boom, stop me out at break even on that first position. So first position stopped out, but that's okay. Trade management was excellent, so no harm, no foul there. So let's mark this out as the break even. Let's change this to break even. Yep, doing that. So yeah, now I only have 1 position running at the current moment, which is that 1 contract. So as price starts to develop, we come a little bit deeper into drawdown, and as price starts to develop, we get another push. So in real time, as price is giving me this sort of formation here, that kind of sweep and this kind of indecision candle, and the price, as you can see, it closed like that. The price closed like that. So as price is closing like this is when I'm adding more position to the size. So this is when I add in an additional 4 contracts. So essentially 5 contracts running now. So boom, price starts to deliver in favor, and as soon as price closes above this point here, which was the leg that put in the mitigation, this is when I roll my stops to break even. Again, trade management is really key here. So boom, stops position is risk free, stops are taken off the table, and I put my stop loss, again, 3 points in profit. So let's go, is about here is where my stop was, and yeah, looking to get to that 3.5 target. So playing price forward here, we started to deliver very aggressively, and then price starts to doing what it's doing, and I was essentially sitting in this trade for a while because we started getting the pullback. I was like, oh wow, we're probably gonna come back again. And eventually price started to deliver in favor. Price is doing what it's doing, and then when price gets around here, this is what I'm thinking. I have to go back to the 15-minute time frame to make sure my target is reasonable. So in hindsight, I was targeting a 3.5, but I adjust my target because I was essentially in kind of no man's land when it comes to structure. So I decided to close my full position at those around the 15-minute high. So this probably won't be exactly how it was, because I know the pricing is a little bit off now, but I didn't really want to target anything past the 15-minute high because we're in no man's land. There's literally like no structure in sight past that to really hold the position for as far as targets. So coming back down to the 2-minute, I know for sure the position around was a 2.86. It wasn't exactly 3R, but nevertheless, price is starting to run in favor, And yeah, I'm, you know, sipping on my chai tea latte with the oat milk, all good. You know, not trying to watch the trade aggressively because my stops are rolled to break even. My risk is off of the table. So nevertheless, price is doing what it's doing. It's running, and boom. Eventually, getting close to the target. A deep pullback, and once I saw this pullback, I was kind of like, this is kind of strong. I don't want it to come all the way back to entry, but nevertheless, if it does, it'll be okay because trade management is key. But you know, you still want to bag those, bag that R. Feel what I'm saying? So, price is doing what it's doing. Eventually, we started delivering favor again. Another deep pullback, and then, whoosh, target smash. So yeah, this was the whole trade idea for today, or for Friday, should I say. I took a break even, and then I decided to scale in again on a continuation, and I decided to add more size during that continuation, and you know, eventually booked, you know, basically 3R. This is kind of rounded up. It's really 2.86R, but let's just round it up for the sake of YouTube, I guess. But yeah, 3R booked, and that was a position that played out quite nicely. And I actually could have targeted, you know, a 3.5 because price ran for a little bit longer, for quite some time, so that would have been nice. But nevertheless, I want to trade what I see and not what I think is going to happen. So that was a pretty nice trade idea. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Ascension recaps. Yeah, AC signing out.